I went on opening day to see Lightyear, and the theater was pretty empty. For a children's movie, I expected a lot more from the crowd, but I can't really say the same for the film. The picture opens by telling you that what takes place is Andy from Toy Story's favorite film, and that's why he owns a Buzz Lightyear toy. It was a really weird abstraction that the movie didn't need. It added context to the entire film that just made it kind of confusing, but whatever, it's just an opening title crawl, it's fine, moving on. The animation in this movie is actually pretty well done, the movements of the characters are insanely believable, and I had a lot of fun just watching the models in motion. But in my opinion, the storyboarding needs some work. There were several scenes where a character's distance from an object would be inconsistent between shots, and it leads to some confusing situations, but the movie goes for an all-over lighthearted tone, so it's barely something you'll even notice, I would imagine. I don't think the movie made me laugh once for all its attempts. This is the kind of movie that will continuously remind you of elements so that they can use them as a punchline later. For instance, the character is always playing with a pin in their suit and talking about how cool it is that the suit comes with a pin, and of course the pin comes in handy at a crucial moment. Actually, you know what, I take back what I said earlier, the movie did make me laugh. Once during like a GPS gag, and once during like the saddest scene of the movie. You see, the movie has like this big problem with being predictable. It's tropey, extremely easy to digest, and on the nose about as much as a film can be. Now, that's not like inherently bad for a comedy, but I found myself knowing what was coming in the movie's emotional gut punch scene. I said to myself minutes before the scene, they're going to do this in this exact same way, and when I was right, I let out a single guffaw. It was unfortunate that it was during the movie's most depressing moment, but hey, I guess that's what you get when you use overdone cliches in your film. The music wasn't too great, but it was well composed. There wasn't anything ear-grating, just your average adventure soundtrack with strings, horns, action stings. The music is composed by Michael Giacchino, who did the music for Rogue One, Star Trek, and some Marvel films. So I'm sure you can pretty much imagine what it sounded like. There's one song that stood out to me at the end of the movie, and I'm pretty sure that it's actually just from Toy Story. Speaking of Toy Story, I haven't seen the film in a long time, but my friend Reed said that the references to Toy Story were extreme and they just kept coming up and kind of taking him out of the film. I was thankfully spared, as I barely remember Toy Story, and haven't seen it since I was a teen. But if you're a real Toy Story fan, then perhaps it might get under your skin. Oh, another thing that should be noted, and I could be totally wrong about this, but I feel like the Buzz Lightyear that we see in Toy Story is an entirely different character. He has an entirely different personality, and I remember him being a little bit more mean or something. This Buzz Lightyear was kind of prideful and full of himself, but I don't remember him being callous or a braggart like I remember him being in Toy Story. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents. If you're big into animation, it's worth seeing for that alone. Otherwise, you'll likely find nothing here for you. It's a movie for kids, so don't go in thinking that you're going to get the best movie of all year, and you'll probably have a good time. Lightyear gets a 6 out of 10, fine. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Special thanks to our producers Anthony Wumbo, Zachary Coroner, James Novak, and John Foreman.